Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we're here with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a comparison, which I haven't done in a while, but this is one that I feel like needs to be done because I see it done a few different ways at Revenants. Either you go in there with some rag PVM gear, I mean no matter which way you're doing, but really the variance is it better to use Toxic Blowpipe or better to use Elder Maul? Now, I'll go ahead and kind of explain why it would be better to use either one first. So let's start with why you would use the Toxic Blowpipe. Blowpipe by far best DPS that you're going to get at Revenants. As far as damage per second goes, it is just above everything else by a long shot. But the problem is once there's so many people fighting Revenants, like you get a world where there's 5 people on each Rev, or even 2 or 3. If you have a guy with an Elder Maul that hits a 50, it's his kill. It's over. And if you have so many people hitting it, you have few chances to actually do a lot of damage with the Blowpipe. While with an Elder Maul, you have potential to be hitting 50s on pretty much every hit, which could get you the kill. So that's really where the difference lies. Is it better to have high DPS and kind of hope for a world that you're by yourself in and you can go around and just kill as many as you want? Maybe you're with someone else. Or is it better to be with an Elder Maul and just find as populated of a world as you can and just start going ham with like 6 people on each Rev? So that's what I'm going to be testing out today. Now obviously the tests are going to be a little, obviously you can't get a perfect test here because just changing from hour to hour there's different amounts of people, but I'll go ahead and talk about that as I get into each of them. Alright, so let's start off with the ranging setup that I'm going to go with. Basically, I will be using a salve AMI for both the Elder Maul and the Toxic Blowpipe. However, with the Blowpipe, this is one thing that I really just debated. As far as my stats, range is 93, strength and attack 99, 92, so pretty close. That averages out to like 96-ish. That's 93, so I'm a few levels behind. Really where I think I can make that up, I have Rigor unlocked, and I know not a ton of people do. Not everyone that are going to Revs does have it unlocked, but if you have 60 mil to spend on an Elder Maul or 50 mil, you also have 50 mil to spend on Rigor. So, obviously it might not be ideal for some people, but I'm going to do the testing with Rigor and a Blowpipe, and then as far as the Elder Maul goes, I'll be just using a regular Elder Maul. I'll show you guys my gear setup then, and I'll also be flicking Piety while I'm there. So before we get on into it, I will say that I'm only doing an hour of actually being at Revenants. I'm not counting the banking time because depending on the loot that I get and depending on the amount of PKers I see, there could be different amounts that I end up banking in each hour, and I don't want that to come out and affect really what ends up being how many revs I can kill when those are just anomalies that I can't really average out myself. Alright, so after doing an hour of this, basically I have some pretty decent ideas as far as the plus and minuses on both sides of this. So we'll start off with the Blowpipe and overall what I was able to kill. So up on screen now you guys will see a list of what I killed as far as how many I killed within the hour. Primarily whenever I was with the Blowpipe, I was going for a lot of Demon and Dragon Knight area. I was kind of running that little triangle and just trying to get as much DPS as I could on each one of those. Sometimes I wandered over down south a little bit towards the Pyrofiend, and every now and then I got a couple Hellhounds as well in there. So definitely was one where I was just trying to take advantage of whatever monster I could. One thing that I recommend you guys do whenever you guys are using a Blowpipe is as soon as you see somebody hit a 50 or 60 on a monster, just get off. You're not going to out DPS it more than likely. Your time's better spent somewhere else. Find a different monster, go and switch it up as quick as you can so that way you aren't helping another person kill their monster. Overall, the total amount of kills that I was able to get in regards to using the Blowpipe was 123. Now with the Blowpipe, I am killing some lower level ones, so that's one thing that we're going to have to take into account here in a second. But yeah, 123 kills within the hour with Blowpipe, definitely not too bad. As far as the XP rates that you guys can expect to get, it's around 60 to 70k depending on what range level you are and what prayers you're using, but it's definitely really nice. And one thing that you do have to consider is also the cost of ranging. If you are already 99 range, then I guess you really probably don't want to train with the Blowpipe any more than you have to, considering the range XP isn't really worth it. If that's in the position that you're in, or you just don't want to train range anyways, it is another 200k per hour if you're using Addy, darts, and a Blowpipe to be able to pay for all the scales and darts that you use, so take that into account going forward. Now as we move over towards using the Maul, now as far as my strategy here, a lot more higher level monsters as you guys can see by the totals up on screen now. Basically overall, try to aim more towards the Knight, Dragon, Orc, and Demon. Kind of stayed to the north again with this one here. To the south, there's a decent amount of stuff to kill, but I feel like a lot more of it is lower health. And with the Maul, you want to be killing those high combat monsters, because as soon as you hit a 60, it's pretty much your kill, and you'll be hitting a 60 whether or not it's on a dragon or whether or not it's on, like, say a Cyclops, for instance. If that 60 is getting you the kill no matter what, you might as well go towards the higher level players. One thing I also recommend, try finding a world that's actually pretty packed, and I know it sounds counterintuitive, but the revs actually reheal HP as they get lower and lower, and if you're the only person doing damage, they reheal faster sometimes than you can kill it, and it starts to get pretty annoying. So I'd say go for a world where people are just there in abundance and try to take as many kills as you can. It's going to be pretty chaotic if you find a very packed world, so it should be good to be able to be as much of a scumbag as you want without people really getting upset because it's a packed world. Anyways, as far as the total amount of kills that I got, it was 111, but as you guys saw before, I did kill 27 knights and 23 dragons, so definitely a lot more of the higher level ones, and that is really why. As far as the total combat level killed, I figure that this would be a good barrier for it, as we don't know what the drop table is like for each one of these yet. We don't know what the average kill loot is by revenant type. I just decided to go ahead and total up the combat levels that I killed. I feel like that's a pretty good reference. So in total with the blowpipe, I killed 1.5 thousand combat levels worth of monsters, and with the MAUL, I was able to get pretty much 11,000 total level, which means in the end, they're really pretty comparable. If you don't want to actually pay the cost of a blowpipe, then I would say the MAUL's actually probably better. But if the ranging XP matters at all to you and you actually like being able to get some ranging XP here, which is good for a lot of people because you don't normally just casually get that, you might want to go for range here. But with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys got some information out of it. It's definitely a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Initially, whenever I was using a blowpipe here, I was like, there's no way anything's better than that. But the Elder MAUL is a really good option for pretty much any circumstance, and one that I would definitely recommend if you don't care about range XP really. In addition to the Elder MAUL, not as fun to use, I guess, because you got to go around and kind of crash people's monsters, kind of. I mean, what your hope is you just run around to as many monsters as you can and hit 50s or 60s, claiming pretty much any loot possible. So it's not really a fun play style either, so just know that going into it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything you guys want to tell me, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. And on top of that, if you guys enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.